Super Draco here, and welcome back to Pack 5 of Build Optimus Prime. So we come into this first section already on Fast Forward. I promised this last time, but just due to the editing, we didn't get to it till now. So we are building 3 of the exact same fingers, just like in Pack 3. So because this is super repetitive, and we've done it before, we're just going to let this go on fast forward, enjoy the music, and I'll be back once we're done with this. Okay, and with that done, we're going to move on. So next we need part 5-13, and then we need part 5-5. So it's going to rest in there, in that socket in his palm. We want the socket part facing down, and then we're going to mount it down with two 2x5mm PB screws. With that done, we're going to bring in our fingers, making sure we pay special care to which one was the pinky finger, since the index, ring, and middle fingers are all the same. But you can see they've arranged the sockets for them in such a way where they, even though they're exactly the same, they appear different lengths. It's actually quite clever. So then, what we're going to do is we're going to rest this down on our workstation and hope fingers don't pop out. So then we're going to bring in parts 5-8 and 5-9. And those are going to essentially clip our fingers into place. So 5-8 is going to hold the index and middle finger down, and 5-9 holds the ring and pinky finger. Now, they're specifically shaped so they can only fit one way. And I just popped the pinky out. And you think this would be simple, but it's not, because it's blue on blue on blue. But there we got 5-8. And then we just got to seat 5-9. Because the pegs can only sit in it one particular way. It's not that hard. And we've seen this once, so I'm not super worried about my camera work right here. And now that they're both in, we're going to mount them down with two 2x6mm PWB screws. Okay, there's a cut there because there was a small interruption by a small fuzzy being named Chloe. So anyway, now that we've got that done, we're going to bring in the palm, or the thumb, and that's going to attach to the palm with two 2.3x6mm PB screws. So with that done, we're going to bring in the other piece of his palm, or I guess the lower part of his hand, but I think that counts as part of the palm. And that's going to mount down with another 2.3x6mm PB screw. I was about to say PWB, but no, this is a regular PB screw. So next we're going to bring in part 5-10 and then the metal joint 5-51. Now this is shaped and it can only fit one way. So now this is a tight fit, so I'm just using the flat of my workstation to get it up in there. Because again, it only fits one way, but it takes a significant amount of force. And since this is a plastic piece, I don't like putting this much force on plastics. But it's in. You think that's what she said moment, but that's besides the point. So then we're going to bring in parts 5-6 and 7. Okay, so the parts 5-6 and 5-7 are going to sandwich around that joint. Because the ends of it are asymmetric, that means these parts can only fit one specific orientation. So then we're going to bring in our hand. And then this is going to attach the hand with two 2.3 by 6 millimeter PB screws. So this will be a fun one. Alright, so once you've got it lined up, you want to start driving the first screw. Now, my new screwdriver is weakly magnetic, and that's intentional. It actually has a magnetizer included in the kit to improve its magnetism or remove some of it. So as the build progresses, you notice I'm adapting to it, and it's getting easier and easier to use. So that's one screw in, so then we just need the other. Okay, and now that we got the wrist joint attached, now I'm going to make sure these screws are tightened down all the way. Now you notice that one was going in at an angle, so I'm backing it out to re-angle it properly. And there we go. Alright, so with the hand basically done, next we're going to need the upper hand, or the upper cover, part 5-14. So the instructions ask you to glue this, so I'm just going to do a test fit real quick. It actually snapped in. You can see I'm shaking it. It's not coming loose, so I'm not going to glue it. So we're going to move on. Okay, so we're going to take joint 5-51, and that's going to fit in there. Again, it can only fit one way. And then we're going to bring in part 5-44. And 5-44 is just going to slip on top of 5-51. Man, I keep saying we've done this before, but I can only use that excuse for my poor camera work so many times. So, sincerest apologies. Anyway, now that that's done, we're going to need parts 5-41 and 43. So 41 and 43 are just going to peg together, and so then the hand is going to attach. Now you want it in this orientation where the thumb is facing the open section, and you're going to mount all that together with two 2x6 millimeter PWB screws. Okay, with that done, we're going to bring in part 5-42, sandwich it together, and then the whole thing will mount together with four 2.3 by 6 millimeter PB screws. So as you can see, my black and red screwdriver is losing magnetism, so we're just going to use the Optimus Prime screwdriver to get it in place, and then switch over because I can get significantly more torque on this screwdriver. Plus, if I'm honest, it's just way more comfortable to grip. Now, I'm also been using the Optimus Prime screwdriver that this kit came with because it's got a wider head than my PH00 head I have on my other screwdriver. It does include a PH0 head, but I'm just using both so I don't have to constantly change heads in the screwdriver. And as I finish this last screw, I think we've hit the stopping point for this video. Remember that fast forward section was almost 4 minutes, so that was 25 minutes of repetitively building those three fingers. So I'm trying to pack as much content as I can into these. So thanks for watching. Check out my fantasy story, King of Mercenaries, on Fiction Press, Super Draco 380, author name, same as on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Follow me on X, and I'll see you in the next one.